Welcome back to the King of the League. My name is Cromar, bringing you a solo cast between Solar Flares and the Blackery here in Week 2, Division 3. And you can identify these teams pretty easily because Leona is always, Rapid Fire is always playing Leona, and her ultimate's called Solar Flare. That's how I remember it anyway. And the team leader here is the team captain's Viper MK2. Normally plays mid lane. He's actually playing Hikarim in the jungle here, which is pretty cool. And other than that, you know, they've also switched up quite a few other roles. Blue Amigo is nor Mr. Bunnyman running AD carry. Blue Amigo's taking mid lane, Mr. Bunnyman taking top lane, and so I guess they're just kind of shuffling roles here. Kind of interesting, but the player roster has not changed. On the other team, the Blackery, the captain is Devastating Arrow running Nautilus jungle, and both players going for their blues, of course. Nautilus and Hikarim very dependent on blue. And Permawilt, once again, AD carry. I believe all these roles are the same, but they did substitute one player. You have Eggs Got Rolled playing mid lane Lux. So the matchups, we've got a Graves Leona. I've been a big Leona kick lately, so I approve of that. Versus Tristan and Nunu. Nunu, of course, a Blood Boil bot, as well as a master of slows. So he is going to be pretty devastating, especially for the late game. And Graves has to be very careful about that. It's going to be very difficult to peel with a snowball on him. But also, Nunu can instead devote his own actions to peeling. Same thing with Leona. Leona's capable of doing either one. So both of these very similar supports, in fact. Crowd control based tank supports and melee attackers. But anyway, down bottom, Permawilt is trying to jump back into the tower to evade this Viper MK2's gank. So nothing happens here. And no flashes down in that fight, it doesn't look like. No flashes used. Tristan is too hard to catch. So this is going to be a really hard lane to gank. Obviously, Tristan is always hard to catch, especially after level 6. But Nunu makes things very difficult as well, because how the hell is Hikarim going to take advantage of his speed when he is slowed by Snowball the whole time? So it's going to be tough. But anyway, Viper MK2 going for a second one here. Eggs Got Rolled, Burning Flash, so he got a little bit out of that one. Total gold starting to very slightly go in favor of the Blackery, and it's based on the farm, which is, you know, just very slightly ahead for them in all lanes. Udyr versus Renekton. I'd rather have the Udyr on my team personally. Some people would argue about the Renekton because he is a good early to mid game stomper if he gets snowballed. Udyr kind of is too, but I like Udyr better for as a late game tank and as a late game carry diver. But that's just me. You know, he's also a good control champion, and he's got a pretty badass new skin in the works, so that's pretty nice too. Although I do like the Runeguard Renekton skin. He's not using it though. So let's see how this game progresses. I like the matchup in mid lane. Orianna and Lux. A couple of fairly similar mid laners. AoE bursters with good crowd control. Orianna's got superior utility. Oh, they both have shields, in fact, but Orianna does have a sprint, which Lux doesn't have. I would say that Orianna has better utility overall, but I'd give it to Lux on the damage. She's a little bit more balanced. Orianna's more balanced towards utility. Lux is more in the middle. Anyway, a little bit of encounter between the junglers, both deciding to back off. Neither of these junglers are really good duelists. I suppose Hikarim is the better of the two. He does have double buff, whereas Devastating Arrow does not. Must have gotten it stolen. That's too bad for him. And mid lane Viper having some presence mid. And let's see if Devastating Arrow wants to get something done down here. They do have the vision advantage, and he is not spotted yet. They have no idea he is there. Let's see if he goes for it. He may just try to flash over the wall, or he may just walk into it, which he's probably going to do right now. Rapid Fire pulling way up. I guess he just wasn't ready. And Kratos X4 playing AD carry. Interesting to see how he does. I haven't seen him AD carry at all, so I don't know how he's going to compete. I know Permawilt is excellent, though. Permawilt is a great AD carry, so I would give based on what I know about the players, I would give the advantage to bot lane. Even though I know Rapid Fire is a Leona pro, I would still give the advantage to bot lane based on what I know about the players. But it's tough to say. I mean, obviously, since I don't know Kratos, we'll have to see how he performs. And he might totally prove me wrong. Who knows? So still effectively dead even. Devastating Arrow going for a dredge line to counter the flash. And the Lux damage being quite devastating against Blue Amigo. His flash, of course, was burned quite a while ago. So anyway, Rapid Fire trying to fight under the tower. And Oskiwawa taking a hit because of the minion being down. Now only a 200 gold lead. I'd like to see a little bit more counter jungling out of these players because it's been fun so far. But Viper is just going to go for a farm. Late game, I would prefer Nautilus. Hikarim late game is pretty nasty, but his mid game is much more effective than his late game. As powerful as his ultimate is, he has to actually catch Onslaught of Shadows. He actually has to catch them in the right position, whereas Nautilus can just target auto lock ability on anybody, and you can't avoid it. You just can't avoid it. I think that I saw a video of somebody getting like 2,000 move speed or something, you know, Rammus plus a whole bunch of buffs, and managed to go across the map and dodge it. But that's, you know, obviously doesn't count in a real game. Effectively, you can't avoid depth charge. So, gonna go top again, try to catch this Renekton. Renekton's very difficult to gank. Obviously, he's got double dash, and that's difficult to deal with. Plus, he's got a stun, so forget it. There's one dash right through the minion line. Lands a dredge line, but Revenant Sniper isn't ready for a follow-up, so they're not going to get anything out of that. That's just a complete waste of time. Revenant Sniper has a level advantage, but it doesn't really matter because level 6 on Udyr is not that special. Especially compared to Renekton. When he hits level 6, he's going to get vastly more powerful. He's going to be able to bully him out of lane, probably. So Nautilus, if he wants to for his lane to succeed up here, he's going to have to keep on it constantly. And the mid lane, Lux slightly ahead of Orianna. In terms of farm, a pretty decent lead, about 12, and also a level. So I would definitely give that one a Lux. Eggs got rolled. Interesting to see how he does. But I'm really watching Permawelt. Permawelt even on farm right now with Kratos. I think Permawelt's going to seriously carry. I really think he's capable of it. I mean, we're talking about a Tristana with Blood Boil, for God's sake. I think he's going to have no issues whatsoever. He's going to be fine at surviving. He's going to have to avoid getting initiated on by Hikarim. That might be a problem. But as long as his positioning is good, and as long as he reacts really well to Onslaught of Shadows by, you know, basically being far enough back that the enemy team can't follow up on the initiate, or by simply avoiding it completely, should be fine, and there's another failed gank. So neither of these teams pulling any really effective ganks at all. So the beginning of this game is very slow. Let's look at vision. We're seeing a vision advantage, just kind of a slight vision advantage, but not by much. For Blackery, they need quite a bit more if they want to have any kind of real success with the vision. But another ward being placed down right as I said that by Hikarim. So Solar Flares having just 2 wards down. Other than that, it's kind of just a farm fest right now. And in terms of farm, the winner right now is Blackery. They're slightly ahead. Devastating Arrow, a little bit low. But they're going to go back and buy. Let's see what items they get first. Tristana going straight for the BF sword. Very nice. In terms of total gold, slightly ahead of Graves. About 100. Yeah, no, not a big deal. Check out Udyr's saved up money. He's got 1,700 saved. He has not bought yet at all game. Renekton has gone back to buy some anti-Udyr items. And look at that trade. Surprisingly, Revenant Sniper doing pretty well in that trade, actually. I thought he would have got creamed in it, but he's holding his own. That's pretty good. How often do you see lane Udyr? Not that often nowadays. Well, you don't really see him very often in the jungle either, but especially in lane. He's pretty effective in both, I guess. He does have that sustain. But then again, Renekton is a really nasty laner, so I would give that to Renekton still. I've seen Mr. Bunnyman play top lane, but also play AD carry, and I think his top lane was better. I think that's what I came away with. But Blue Amigo, mid lane. I've seen him play top, AD carry, mid, so he's all over the place. So I really don't know what his main role is, to be honest. And we'll have to figure that out as these games go on. As we go into this game, game 2, we'll see what he plays best. But Permawelt returning to lane. Permawelt is level 6. He's going to be absolutely ungankable at this point. I mean, it'd take a miracle to gank him. They would need perfect CC setup from like 3 people. They would need a perfectly owned initiate into a shockwave into an Onslaught of Shadows. To be able to set that up would be really difficult. So we have a dragon attempt from Solar Flares. They figured it out. There's the ward down. Dragon's dying a little bit too slowly for my tastes. Let's see if Permawelt's going to interrupt this. There's the perfect initiate that I talked about, landing everything. Still going to escape despite that. Didn't even sweat it. Didn't even sweat it. Buster shot still available. So unfortunately, eggs got rolled, came up to interfere, but just got caught by everybody in a terrible position. First blood going to Solar Flares. Sorry about that, eggs. You did get rolled. Oh God, I can't believe I just said that. I saw his name. I'm like, I'm not going to make that joke, and then I made that joke. So dragon, we're going to reset. And now we're seeing an advantage for Solar Flares, even though they're still behind on gold, technically. The gold advantage for Lux is pretty huge, and Oski Wow Wow getting jumped by these two players. Permawilt actually using her ability to get into the fight. Permawilt used Rocket Jump offensively. That's not good, and there's a stun from Leona, and basically wasting that advantage. Now Kratos picking up a kill, and they may get this kill on Nunu, but it's probably too early to risk it. Exart rolled, warping in, gonna land the E, see if he can land the binding, perhaps finish with a Final Flash. Final Flash is down. I know it's not called that, I don't care. And unfortunately missing the binding, hit a minion instead. Eggs got rolled with a stun, and these guys are gonna survive, so the teleport was in fact wasted. Devastating arrows here now too, and the Blackery is kind of running scared at this point, because even though they do have a farm advantage, they're giving up kills all over the place. And under the tower, Oski Wow Wow in a really bad position. Not what sure what he was thinking there. And Viper picking up a kill. That's going to be 3-0. The Blackery's hurting now. Kratos is completely out of health and mana. I know Devastating Arrow wants to land a depth charge combo on him so bad right now. And if he does, I'll be very excited, but I don't think he's going to try for it. With Rapid Fire going back, though, this may be the chance. Nope, there goes Kratos, so Devastating is just going to hold the lane. Just barely didn't get a chance to contribute anything to that fight. So Blackery needs to regroup. They've got to make some serious changes to what they're doing here. I mean, now the vision advantage is in fact the other way around. Solar Flares now has it. If what Blackery needs to do, they need to continue focusing on farm. That part is going right, but their team fighting is really hurting. They keep having people get caught in really bad positions, and that's costing them 3 kills so far, just one after another. We've had Lux get caught over here, we had Nunu get caught over here, and then Nunu got caught again over here. And the first time Nunu got caught, he didn't get killed, but we actually had Permawilt jump in using Rocket Jump offensively, which was a huge mistake. And she used Buster Shot to try to escape, but it wasn't enough. And of course they focused her first, naturally. So, it's bot lane. So still all quiet here. Viper MK2 coming in. They do not have vision of him. He is going to land a very nice gank here. Permawilt can escape. Is she going to do it? There's the Rocket Jump. They're just going to focus Oski Wow Wow, using Solar Flare to force him to interrupt his own Absolute Zero. And there's another kill for Kratos. 4-0. Solar Flares gaining a 1k gold lead. And Permawilt is by himself in lane. If he gets caught, well, I was going to say if he gets caught he might die, but probably not because Rocket Jump's already back up. He's going to have to watch out for Zenith Blade anyway. There's the Zenith Blade into the Q combo. Not enough damage to kill. He's going to Rocket Jump out, and yeah. They should have gone in on him a lot earlier before Rocket Jump was available. Permawilt going to attempt to take golems here. I'm not really that confident about his ability to do that with such low health. But he's obviously knows something I don't. Devastating Arrow catching Viper MK2 in an attempt to counter jungle. Here comes Blue Amigo. Eggs got rolled, has blue and wants to do some damage, but there's just not the opportunity. Viper MK2 is going to horse on out of there. And these guys are going to take their red. Meanwhile, Permawilt still by himself bot lane. Kratos does not care, taking a tower hit unnecessarily. And I think if Oski Wow had been there a little bit earlier, they might have actually chased that for a kill. Maybe. Kind of questionable. Up top, boy, this top lane is exciting. Udyr actually about 34 gold ahead, 34 kills ahead. So Revenant Sniper. Yeah, with a huge CS lead. Finally going back to buy. He has 3,100 amassed. Let's see what he buys. Is he just going to straight up buy like a Frozen Heart or something? I don't know. No, it's probably not going to buy that. But buying a Bilge Water, Chain Vest, and shoes. So there you go. Sword, armor, and shoes. That's all he really need, right? And Rapid Fire, trying to defend this tower. They're going to be taking tower hits, but Oski Wow Wow's taking the tower hit, so he does not care. Solar Flare not enough, and that's a feed for Tristana. Permawilt getting on the board with her first kill. First kill for their team, in fact, the Blackery now. Oh, down 3 kills, and gold is surprisingly close because of the farm difference. So they're not out of the game by any chance. I mean, it's not even close to that. Oski Wow Wow, a little bit low. I would have liked to see at least see them turn around and kill him, but it's really unlikely. So Mr. Bunnyman pressuring this, by pressuring, I mean destroying this top tower, because it's unlikely that Revenant Sniper is going to get back in time. So he finally goes back to buy one time and loses his tower. Is that just how it is? I guess he just doesn't have the pushing power. What is his build like right now? His Phoenix stance. He's not even picked Phoenix stance. That's why. Hey, ouch. And he's going to fight Bunnyman over this tower, but Bunnyman can just walk away. He doesn't care. He's got his ult up. Revenant Sniper chasing him away kind of pointlessly. This is going to dive. I don't think he is. Waiting for his ult to wear off, perhaps, then maybe diving. So there might be a chance now. Revenant Sniper could heal up here, could sustain up. I don't know. He's pretty scared of Renekton, obviously. You do not want to feed him. That's the worst thing to do early game, feed Renekton. He's just going to take your tower, roam, and kill everybody, and your team will be very angry with you about that. So, now about 1,000 gold lead for Solar Flares, and a lot of that coming from their first tower. That was a huge thing for them. Still no dragon. Both teams scared to fight dragon. I think they have vision of this ward, don't they? Yeah, they do. They can see that ward. So they need to go destroy that pretty soon anyway. Osceola taking a lot of fire. And I think Permawilt can finish this tower if she really wants to, but here comes Viper MK2 spotted. No, not spotted by wards. So they actually have no idea what they're in for. Let's look at him. Let's see what Viper's up to. I think he's going to go for Oski, but oh no, Devastating Arrow coming out of nowhere. I don't know where he came from. They are going to kill him immediately. And Devastating Arrow as well, just dying instantaneously. I'm going to do a replay on that one in just a second, but there's a Zenith Blade on Permawilt. Rocket Jumps is already down, and there's the combo and done. So let's go back. I want to see how fast Devastating Arrow died and what he died from exactly. So he came up through the lane, right? We're going to focus on him. He came up through the lane, waited here, got spotted by a ward, so they knew what they were in for. But look at Oski's health, so they knew they could deal with it. So here comes Viper. He's going to jump straight on onto Oski and use Onslaught to break it. And the damage was so fast, I was looking specifically for it, and I couldn't see it. But basically, it looks like Graves Burst, a combination of collateral damage, buckshot, and every other goddamn thing, killed a Nautilus instantaneously. Nautilus just dropped dead instantaneously. He has no real defense. He has a little bit of health, and he has mobility boots and Spirit Stone. That's not going to help him. So a little bit of, did I say health? I meant to say ability power. So Nautilus dying immediately. That was really unfortunate. So Devastating Arrow in a bad spot. He's only has 1 assist. It was for the only kill that his team has. So here's a dragon attempt. I think Eggs is going to attempt a final flash. Steal! No, so close. I got excited, but he did manage to pick off Ikarim. He did manage to kill Viper MK2, which was pretty nice. I think he couldn't have played that any better. I mean, having slightly better timing on his ult maybe. That's about it. But I was still pretty happy with how that turned out. And 3k gold difference. Solar Flares ahead. Top lane, you know, losing top lane in terms of farm, but not by a whole lot. And the fact that they got the tower first is huge because they could, you know, they can snowball off that gold advantage, which is what they appear to be doing. Mid lane's more even now. Eggs got rolled is only about 10 ahead, so you know, proportionally, that's really not that big of a deal. And back up top, Mr. Bunnyman quite low. So these two teams are in a kind of a stalemate right now. They're kind of a standoff. It's not that much of a difference in gold, but let's see if Devastating Arrow and Viper are going to fight it out again. This time, top lane Bunnyman has actually gone back, so they're not going to get a free kill off of him. And there's the catch. He can onslaught out anytime he wants. I think. What's he going to do? He's just going to run for it, and they can't catch him. Revenant Sniper taking a lot of tower hits. Onslaught was actually not up. Apologize. And they're going to beat up the tower instead. So, still too fast to catch, even without his ult. So here comes Bunnyman trying to defend his tower. I don't think they're going to get it. I don't think there's any way you can stop them. And a 2v1 would be a really bad idea right now. Even though currently Devastating Arrow is not that effective, he does have a lot of crowd control. And I don't think Bunnyman wants to deal with that. Oh, maybe not. He's just scaring him off. That's pretty funny. Just snapping at him. Anyway, a quick blue steal. I don't think that Eggs is ready for this. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. And there's a final flash to secure it. Unfortunately, not a good choice of use of his ability there because Permawilt's caught, and now they don't have to have it for damage. Oski flashing. They may actually escape this, in which case I'll be very impressed. Viper is going for it, though. Onslaught is, he just used it, so he does not have it to catch them. And that snowball, just what I was talking about earlier about that snowball countering them so hard. They're not going to attempt to defend this tower. It's 4v4. Here we go. Oski's going to die in one more shot here. No, he just barely sneaks out. Oh my goodness. The shockwave hitting only Nautilus. Eggs got rolled this back down here again. Permawilt picking up a kill, and they totally turned this around on Solar Flares because the whole team is here now. Udyr just right in the front, catching Kratos and stunning him. So how about that bait from Oski? Wow. Just the kiting was fantastic. I mean, that stupid Yeti is so fast, and he's with Blood Boil and all that. And anyway, they're going to catch Rapid Fire as well. This is just a total chase now. What a turnaround now. Blackery going ahead by a K. And so, Oski, great job. Just a fantastic bait. I mean, there was at least 3 different times when I thought for sure you were dead and getting out of there. So that was pretty nice. Anyway, so we're at about the 20-minute mark, and the game is effectively even. They've got a 1k gold lead, but that's not really that much. Almost interrupting his recall is pretty funny. So it was a successful blue steal, and I think it was a successful blue steal. I might be wrong about that. But they definitely picked up a lot of kills in that team fight. Viper trying to fight him off the tower. Devastating Arrow taking a tower hit, unfortunately. Revenant as well, but he's Udyr, so he doesn't care. And they're finally going to back off. What with their key damage dealers being completely out of mana and their tank being out of health. Kind of the things you need, right? Nunu's probably out of wards. No, he's not, but that would be funny if every single player was out of their key item. But anyway, about an 800 gold difference now, and Solar Flare is looking for blood. They're going to definitely take a tower in retaliation. And tower situation, we actually have a 1 tower advantage for Blackery. They lost the first tower, but then they took 3 in rapid succession, all the outers. So that's pretty nice. They took top lane with 2 people, and then bot lane was a little bit slower, and then mid lane they just took just now after winning that team fight. And I would say the advantage right now, well, it's tough to say. I would say that neither team has an advantage in terms of their current position in the game. I still believe that late in the late game, Permawilt, I kind of have faith in Permawilt, is going to be more effective in late game. But again, Kratos, just a reminder, Kratos not a player I'm familiar with in AD carry role, so I don't feel like, I really don't know. I mean, he may completely outplay him and really impress me. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be nice. And a new star in Division 3. He's up against some tough opponents. Anyway, Devastating Arrow walking into this brush. They think they've caught somebody, but they haven't. They've only caught Nunu and Nautilus, which is just not that helpful. And Lux is coming in from behind to see if Bunnyman wants to go for. He doesn't. He doesn't. And Tristan is here too. The whole team is here. They can catch them. This is a bad place to be in. Solar Flares knows it, and they're going to back off. They know they're going to lose a team fight if they get into this. I mean, the superior crowd control appears to be in the favor of Blackery. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, just because of Nautilus. They have slows everywhere. They have Nautilus, and then they also have bindings to help out, and they have Udyr stun. So I would give it to them over Shockwave and Leona combo. So anyway, Viper gonna charge in. There it is. There's a ghost. He's getting serious. Onslaught of Shadows on 4 people. Nice shot. Shockwave wasted over here. Did I see that right? Oh, that's terrible. I don't know what happened. Some kind of misclick. And Revenant Sniper going deep. Finally thinks twice. There's a missed binding. No, what happened to that Shockwave, Lux? Jeez, or rather, Viper MK2. There's an absolute zero, gets interrupted instantaneously. Final flash hitting a lot of people, but not killing anybody. Bunnyman's going to back off. They may get away with this with 1 kill, thanks to the overextend by Oskiwow. Nunu as a support is not that strong of a tank because he just doesn't have the gold to buy the items, at least not till very late game. And yeah, actually, Solar Flares came away with a kill. So, making up for that mistake. Yeah, the initiate at the beginning, though, God, that was totally botched. It was a perfect Onslaught of Shadows, but the follow-up just wasn't there. Otherwise, they could have done a lot of damage. And Permawild looking for blood. See if they're going to push this tower. It's very likely. There's a binding on 2 people. Pretty nice. Second target obviously has half duration. For those of you who don't know the ins and outs of Lux. Rapid fire is pretty low. They could catch him and do some damage. I'm going to grab this ward, probably. Actually, no, it's just 2 wards of the same team. Wow, you guys are in a habit of that, apparently. And there's a binding on rapid fire. That's going to be a kill, almost for sure, if they focus. And everyone's just walking back and forth instead of killing them, so no, they're not going to get the kill. Wow, that's a shame. Rapid fire, very lucky there. And the final flash missing, but it did hit Blue Amigo and also the tank, but that's not the important part. And they're going to force a dragon here. They're in a great position to do it, too, because both Kratos and rapid fire are way too low, and that's going to be a second dragon. And that's the first one for Blackery, and the other one, of course, went to Solar Flares much earlier. Blue Amigo failing a flash, so he's done. Ouch. Just the combination of the exhaust and the missed flash, that's all it's going to take. And then Viper cannot escape from this, with his ult being down still. That's a double kill. What a nice pick and cleanup. Just what happened when Kratos went to farm top and Rapid Fire had to go back to heal because he was almost dead. And the rest of the team stuck around. Blackery stuck around, and they just caught 2 people. There you go. So a 2k gold lead, Blackery now in front. Not a massive lead. Not a massive lead at all. And they're talking about 400 gold for the carry difference. That's really nothing. But a K for the mid laners. So Eggs got rolled, appearing to be way more effective than Blue Amigo at this point. We'll see if that holds up for late game. But of course, Blue Amigo has more utility because of his champion selection, so it almost doesn't matter. So Permawilt going to push this tower just a little bit. And Rapid Fire trying to interrupt, getting caught instead. Revenant Sniper just chaining that stun with the slow from Oskiwow, and he's going to back off because Rapid Fire is too difficult to kill. Leona is just too difficult to kill. And they're going to back off. So a couple of nice engages. They're down a kill but up gold. Pretty nice, mainly because of the tower, but also because of farm. The farm difference between Lux and Orion is getting bigger and bigger by the moment. We also see a difference from the top laner. Not a huge deal, though. Let's look at total gold again for individuals. Total gold for Udyr. Yeah, see Udyr and Renekton about a K apart. That's not that big of a deal. A good team fight, a good initiate will turn everything around for both teams. And Kratos sitting on 2,300 gold. I just noticed that. I'm just like, why is he still out of mana? Because after the last team fight, he didn't go back to heal. He went to farm top and then came right back down bottom. He hasn't gone back at all. They're going to take this tower and even it up on towers here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Wisely backing off. No way they could force a second tower at this point. No way. So we're at 27 minutes into the game. Let's look at item builds for a minute. Tristana's got Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster. That's pretty standard, I guess. Udyr picking up Blade of the Ruin King. I don't see Udyr very often, so I'm not really sure how common that is. But he's also got a lot of defensive items. That I get. Going for a Sheen next. And probably going to turn that into a Iceborne Gauntlet. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much assumed. Because he does have a Glacial Shroud, so there you go. Nautilus not having a lot of items. He does have his Spirit of the Ancient Golem, which is good, and Moby Boots, but he's also got some damage. I guess he can build Leandries. Anyway, Viper going to initiate the team. Permawilt caught, but he can escape easily because of who he is. And there's the final flash on Kratos. Kratos is going to have to run away. Nunu goes down in the battle, and as does Oriana. So they're going to turn this completely around. Permawilt's still at full health. Permawilt's still at full health. So what happened to that fight? What happened in that fight? Man. That was just a perfect initiate from Viper. He needs to do that more often. Permawilt's still healthy, though, and that's scary, because Kratos doesn't have the lifesteal just yet. He's got a Bloodthirster, but he doesn't do damage or have enough lifesteal total to be able to heal up. And they're going to catch Viper with a perfect Dreadsline. So now the fight's at 2-2, and they got a fully built carry right now. They got Permawilt at full... Oh, just the tip. Final flash finishing off Kratos. So that low health becoming a huge liability. And Permawilt's going to take this tower. And, yeah, it's like, okay, Nautilus, go ahead and take the hits for me, please. That was such a good ult, Lux. Nice one. Nice one. Eggs got rolled. So Blue Amigo going to try to defend his tower. It's unlikely he will be able to by himself. He's got to wait for at least Rapid Fire to get here, but they've already done half the health and tower damage. They're going to finish it. They're going to go all in. They're going to go all in on this tower. There you go. And they're going to be forced to back off. I kind of feel like if Eggs Got Rolled was really serious about it, he could sit in the front and take a couple hits and probably kill Blue Amigo with Permawilt jumping over the wall or something ballsy like that. But, you know, no need to take that risk at this point. Take the win, you know. Don't risk turning it around. I mean, really, what's one more kill compared to the risk of giving up 3 kills? Because that's probably what would have happened. Yeah, but of course, if I was in that situation, I would have done it anyway because it's fun. And it would have made it for a good video, too, you know? Just the tip. Final flash. And, Nunu, pink warding Baron. We have a bit of a ward fight over here, but I don't think he actually has... I don't think he has vision of that ward because of the positioning. Oh, yep, he does. He does. He put it in just far enough. That one was on accident. He just wanted to see, you know, what it felt like. Anyway, Viper is going to chase off Oski. There's no way they can catch him. He's way too fast. And he's just going ward happy. These guys definitely smell a Baron attempt. One of these two teams wants to. I'm pretty sure that Blackery has a big advantage because of the massive amount of vision they have around there. And they can even improve on that more by putting some in the jungle and the other approaches. So Permawilt had just gone back to buy. Spent all his gold. Sitting on a Last Whisper now. Now, Last Whisper is going to be fantastic against Renekton, Sunfire Cape, and Hecarim's Randuin's Omen. So good, very good pick. Let's see what the other enemy team's doing here. Solar Flares. Graves keeping up on farm. About 20 behind Tristana, not a big deal. But the mid lane situation is much different. Egg's got Roll's advantage, and farm is getting really just out of hand. And wow, that'll catch on Kratos. I was looking at farm, didn't see how it happened. So let's watch that one more time, guys. Sorry about that. It happened so quick. So just jump back 15 seconds with the backspace key, and we're going to go up here. Kratos going for a last hit. Thinks he's safe. He is not safe. Just auto attacks. That was all it was auto attacks? What a joke. God, it's crazy. The assists went to Nunu and Lux because of the shield and the blood bowl, respectively. And Mr. Bunnyman's done for as well. That was a binding, though. That was strictly Permaweld's auto attacks and busters and rocket jump to catch that Graves. Whew. You know, obviously the blood boil certainly was a big part of that. She probably wouldn't be able to catch him otherwise, but wow, that is scary. Permaweld stomping right now. Even though Kratos' score isn't bad, but Permaweld clearly has the bigger impact on the game. If he can do a play like that, forget it. And catching rapid fire with a binding. Just say goodbye. Okay. Now Kratos is back up. He's on level 13. And as a result, he has a pretty short rest timer, but that's going to be bad in a team fight. So speaking of team fights, they're going to start this Baron. No vision. They did see Lux a second ago. So they may have guessed it. And they're gonna have to find out for sure now. He's gonna drop a ward over here, and they're like, oh, well, crap, not good. Now, if anybody can steal, it's Hikarim. Hikarim is an excellent Baron stealer, just like Zac. He's gonna onslaught into the group, hit all of them. Kratos firing over the wall. Are they gonna kill Baron first? And there's the steal, amazing, and a shockwave on multiple targets. And there's a final flash on Kratos. They're gonna kill him. Permaweld's still up. No, Kratos is still alive. Wow, getting saved by Aura and his shield, it looks like. Permaweld just barely escaping, and the rest of the team's gonna collapse. What a turnaround. Solar Flares with a completely perfect Baron steal. Such a great maneuver by Hikarim. Going in so early, rather than trying to time it perfectly, he went in and interrupted everybody. Everybody was trying to kill him, and then he just focused on smiting. And they went 2 for 4. They only lost 2 people for 4. They did eventually give up Kratos, but mainly it was just their diver. And they took 4 people. Permaweld, of course, you know, almost impossible to kill. Tristana is so difficult to catch. And suddenly, Solar Flares back in the game. Check that out. Things can turn around quick, you know. Awareness Farm's also gone up quite a bit. But this Baron buff's going to be huge. And now Blackery is in a tough spot. A really tough spot. Probably when they saw the Hikarim, you know, champion of Baron steals, they probably should have backed off immediately. Or they should have engaged on him. They have very limited engage over the wall, unfortunately. The dredge line, not useful for that. So they basically only have rocket jump, and that would have been suicide. So they'd have to go around the long way. And not a lot of good options there, unfortunately. I mean, maybe they could have had Nautilus waiting over the wall. But he's their smite control, so that can't work either. They do have a consume. I don't know. Not a lot of good options there. It's kind of a comp problem. As soon as a Hikarim shows up, he's just such a threat. He's such a threat. And with a perfect steal. Boy, that was exciting. But there's still an inhibitor down. Blackery still has that major advantage. And it's going to be a little while before that's back up. So both teams, they're waiting for the Baron buff to go out, waiting for the inhibitor to go out. Everybody farming and pushing. Next Dragon will be very important as well. Both teams really need that money, especially Solar Flares because they are behind. Their carry needs cash. Another BF sword on Tristana. She has 1 BF sword ahead of Graves in the build. Their builds are identical otherwise. And there's a Force Tower, not a hard tower at all to force, even with the Baron buff, because Renekton's not there. Mr. Bunnyman was going top, but Lux is also not there, so it's actually 4v4. Interesting. Eggs got trolled. Is not going to be anywhere near this fight. Might get in range for an ult in time. That's about it. But these guys are going to have to sit and wait. Wait for him. They cannot dive right now. Of course, they can just harass them at the tower and let the mid lane push, but Viper isn't going to let that happen. He's going to jump into the battle. Jumping on Oskiwawa, he's almost dead. There goes Orianna already. Udyr killing Orianna. Permawelt going wild. This is unbelievable that they don't even have the number advantage. And Eggs got trolled, having teleported into the fight. Wow, I didn't even see that. That's where he came from. Freaking teleport. Unbelievable. What a play. They thought they had him. He teleports in, and they're going to completely turn that fight around. And Permawelt just rocking face with a double kill. And that last whisper paying off. This is the last play of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and back up, and we're going to see that last play of the game one more time, if you don't mind. I'm sure you won't. And I want to see that teleport from Lux. I want to see that teleport. So he's going to activate the teleport right as soon as Hecarim initiates. And I want to see where he teleports to. So here comes the initiate. Oskiwawa, here's the teleport. Jumps down right into the middle of it. Right into the middle of the action. And like you can't even see him. He's right in the middle of it. And he's going to take out Viper. Oh, man. And then there's Kratos getting chased down. Permawelt going deep with the rocket jump. Kratos trying to contribute. No, then Lux finishes it. Wow. Permawelt did most of the damage. So great. MVP of the fight. I mean, I was always talking up Permawelt all game, but MVP was clearly Eggs got trolled with that split. Split pushing top, teleporting in, making the enemy team greatly underestimate him, and then finishing it off. And there was so much chaos going on, I couldn't even see the teleport. So there you go. The Blackery winning game 1 on week 2, taking one away from Solar Flares, thanks to a perfectly timed clutch Lux teleport, as well as just a lot of damage from both carries. Both carries stomping the enemy carries. So definitely an outplay. So great job, guys. I'll see you next game.